parking brake arm is not moving like it should.
When you're doing on this one, explain what you're doing, please.
Okay.
To all of us. So, because you know me, dude, is like my way of actually working on a vehicle is going to a mechanic and saying, it does this, and then leaving and coming back later and paying the thousands of dollars for a brake job.
This side is not caught, so
yeah,
release it.
Released.
And get this off. Oh, you still have that thing on.
Yes. Could have used that during Halloween. That's a good fog effect you got going on.
That looks good too. Hot drum. Looks good.
So, you're saying it was the pad on the shoe that had slipped off, or the whole shoe itself?
I think what happened, it was going to be this whole shoe. It'd be the ceramic part on the metal plates. It had slipped off of one side on that Kia, and had welded itself to the other side.
Ew.
So, which is why I couldn't get the drum off. It's pushing out. This is not moving now. Alright, I kind of see what's wrong. Alright, you let it out. Side stuck. Couldn't bring me in the drum. Now I gotta get the moss out of it. Moss is not a good component in a brake. Let's see if I can get this drum back on. I don't know if it will. I'm starting to think beyond just the cables, I may need to replace these whole rear brake mechanisms. Now it's not releasing. Well, at least I've got it engaged. I guess that is progress.
Yeah.
Engaged, now it just won't release. New problem.
New problems are better than old problems. I still find it funny that you're basically fixing your brakes right now with a hammer.
Yeah.
So you're persuading your brakes to behave.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now try the parking brake. This side's not engaged fully, but the other side is. Okay, release it.
Out.
Ow?
Out.
Out.
You know what? It just occurred to me. One of my solutions actually would work.
What's that?
Sledgehammer.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that does work. This is just a dead blow hammer. So.
I'm happy. I know how to fix this now.
I wish they had an adjuster on this. I've got it to the point where it's working enough that if I can make it adjust, which that's why the cable clamps. I already adjusted this one down some. I don't think I can adjust it anymore. I can't make it any shorter.
So, how are you adjusting it? Let me go back here. Let's take a look here. How are you adjusting this?
I have adjusted it just by, I took the end of the cable and I added a cable clamp to it to shorten the amount of cable traveling, which makes up for casing that's collapsed. Well, I need to shorten it a little bit more. This one needs shortened a little bit more too. I thought it had broken. It's not broken. These cables are bad, but I've got them working again, and the whole brake mechanism really needs replaced when I take it apart. So now I'm back to making these work until I go to replace these drum brakes.
Okay. So if you happen to be out and about downtown and you see a runaway teal truck. I'm just kidding.
See, this at one time had a lock, I think, that caught there, and it's gone. Probably rusted away like this one does, and that helps make tension on the cable.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the problem, is just shortening these cables up, then I think they can work. I have possibly a solution for that. This one I can't shorten up anymore because it has that catch there. But maybe I can do something with it. So, back to the original thing I was doing with this, trying to make these existing cables work, but it was behaving like this one had broke completely. And I guess it hadn't. Interesting. Like I said, when you work on vehicles, you go back and forth. You don't buy the parts, you need them. When you buy the parts, you don't. The parking brake arm is not moving like it should. The other side broke loose. Started moving, started working. It was just a matter of getting the cable the proper length again so it would engage. This one, I've gotten the cable down to a length where it should be engaging, but I can't get this arm to move. I have done a little bit more to break it loose. It's clamped in here. It's possible that either over time it's seized up or someone put parts in when they replaced drums at some point, replaced these pads. They may have used too big of a clamp and it's just locked it down so it won't move. I have tried to get it moving and I managed to get this pin pushed back. Arm came up and I managed to get the arm back so it's back where it should be sitting at rest. Let's see if the drum goes back on. There we go. And I'm going to try the parking brake and see what it does.
All right.
See, this side's still not there. Hey, but it is.
It's getting there.
It's caught some. And it's still getting stuck. And if you're wondering, it's a very stiff cable. It doesn't really like being bent over on itself, and that's part of the battle here. Because it's not really meant to have to be. Okay.
Yeah. This is what they used to call rigging it.
Mm-hmm. Someday they'll just start genetically modifying people with third hands for mechanical work.
Where? Like in the center of their chest?
Don't know. Maybe it'll come out of your back. That way you can pat yourself on the back when you're done too.
I'd feel too much like a politician patting myself on the back.
Well, they would be the second group to get them. Okay, come on. Now if I can do this and not back the bolt off, the nut off instead of on, when I've got it clamped down, I'll be good. Get in the clamp guide. When cables don't want to go where they're supposed to be. It is a cable guide. The cable's supposed to be there. Put the drum on. Let's make sure I can get the drum on.
Still more dust coming out of that thing.
There will be for a long time. There. Okay. I have not engaged the parking brake fully doing this, so that's a good sign. Always check that before you finish. I just got attacked by something. I think it actually might have been my shirt. You know what? I'm hungry.
Hi, hungry. I'm Lou. Which, by the way, if we haven't mentioned, please like, share with your friends, subscribe, ring the bell so you can be notified when these videos are posted. And if enough of you do it, we can get Carl some actual true cable clamps.
That's almost a bell sound.
So now you're using the hose clamp, not the hose clamp, but the
Yeah, it's a hose clamp.
the hose clamp, rather, to wrap around the screw hole there.
Yeah, try to secure it again. Because apparently, I'm guessing at one point there was some sort of clip in here, but it didn't come with any of the kits I got, and it's been gone for a long time, so I can keep this cable from moving around so much, so that would help. Now I'm putting where this is collapsed, the casing.
Yes.
I'm going to try to use this one to hold it together again, so that maybe it'll quit moving around so bad and work, function more properly. Whatever. Better.
Function gooder.
Yeah. And you want to be careful if I got to be careful of this, not to over tighten them, because that could bind the cable. And then back to where we were, with it not moving, not working at all. And I had tried previously, which you may not notice when I was taking these off, but I had a clamp here that actually had this casing clamped as far up with the cable as I could, but it didn't solve the movement issue, so I went the other way, shortening it up. There we go. Alright, now try it.
Okay, as you hold that,
Yep.
so everybody can see what happens when I push down this. More down and that'll go.
Bingo!
Alright, release.
Yep, release. And spinning, and lock.
Alright, want me to press it again?
Yep.
Press it again.
Still not locking perfectly over here, but the other side is working really good.
Okay.
Actually, leave it engaged.
Leave it engaged?
Yeah.
Engaged.
Alright, you can come hold this.
Got it?
Yeah. It is engaging, it's just not engaging real great. It's not engaging 100% on this side, but it's engaging.
That's all the way down, as far as I can get it.
Alright. That is holding. It's holding the other side really good. This side is not really doing much of anything. Let go. Let it release it.
Okay. Release.
But it's good enough.
Alrighty.
I have a parking brake.
A parking brake. Hey, we got a parking brake fixed. Not both, but one of them. So what that means? That means you got a drift machine now, right?
This thing is open rear end, so you could already break it loose.
Not recommended, honestly. Don't do
No.
that. Don't do that. I know somebody out there is going to be crazy enough. If I cut parking brake on one side, don't do that. I'm kidding.
What ended up being the issue, as I said, was the mechanism. But I got the mechanism working the other side, got the cable adjusted down enough that that's engaging. So I do have a good parking brake on the passenger side wheel. Driver's side is still not engaging, and it's actually going to require me to replace everything to get that engaging, because it's the mechanism not functioning, and I can't really tell until I take it apart. And I do not want to take that apart until I have everything, put the drums back together. because otherwise I won't have a brake on this side, which is not a good thing. But right now the brakes work good. I've got a parking brake on that side, so it is functional. Most of the time I won't need to use chalk block. I'll use chalk blocks anytime there's a slope, but it makes it work better. Yeah. And gonna put it back on. This has been dressed before, but make sure that you do a star cross pattern when you're tightening it well, but you don't necessarily want to use a breaker bar. Look at your owner's manual to get proper compression, what poundage it needs to be tightened to.
Please.
And
yes.
Don't over tighten. If you over tighten it, you might be thinking you're doing good, but normally all you do is end up ruining your
lug nuts. Yeah.
And even on some of these, you can actually snap these off. I have snapped these off on vehicles. Someone over tightened them and I was trying to loosen them.
Oh, strength.
When you over tighten them, the only thing you're going to do is shorten the life of those things.
Okay. And so, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you, and y'all have a enjoyable day.
Please like, share, and subscribe. And if
join us for more crazy projects in the future. So long.